Good morning, everybody. We are from Devi Mahalakshmi Polytechnic, Titwada, Department of Computer Engineering and Information Technology. Semester 5th, Subject OSY, Subject Code 22516. Myself, Miss Anita Shirture. Chapter number 2nd, the services and different components of operating system. In previous video, we learned about the services of operating system and the components of operating system. Remaining topic of the second chapter, we will learn about the tools of operating system. And in this video, we will discuss about the tools of operating system. This is the last topic of the second chapter. If you have any type of doubt, learning outcome of this video, use of operating systems tools. The first tool is user management. Second, security policy. Third, device management. And fourth is the use of operating system tools. There are 4 operating tools are used in there. The first is the user management. Second, security policy. Third, device management. And fourth is the performance monitor. Now, we will start about this user management. The user management is useful to creating users, to add users, as well as to delete the users. As the administrator, it is your job to create and manage the accounts for all required users. To facilitate this, Linux comes with the several tools for user management. And user management includes everything from creating a user to deleting a user on your system. The graphical tools are easy and suitable for new users, as it makes sure you will not run into any troubles. Command line tools includes the commands like a user add, user delete and password, etc. These are the mostly used by the server administrator. Following are the Linux command tools for managing the users and groups. The first is user ID, user add, second user mode, and third is the user delete. Everyone knows about how to create the new users in your operating system, but in this chapter we will learn about how to create the how to create new users in your operating system, as well as how to add the new users in your operating systems. Then the first is the user add, creating a new user. To add the new user in a Linux systems, we can use the user add command. So obviously you can use the commands of the user add, and using this user add. Now second is the root. The root booster is a super user and have all the powers for creating a user, deleting a user and default values from the system. Then I have explained already how to use the user add commands in this system. Then syntax is the user add login name, and then example is user add xyz. Xyz is the given the system's name. And then next is the creating a user with a specific home directory. By the default, user add creates the user's home directory in the /home. Then if you want to create the user's home directory in the other location, then use the -d --home options. So -d options is used for the specific home directory. Then The second thing is the creating a user with a specific group ID. It's called as the SGID, the specific group ID. Then the Linux groups are organization units that are used to organize and administrate user accounts in Linux. The primary purpose of the groups is to define a set of privileges such as the reading, writing or executing permission for a given resource that can be shared among the users within the groups. Then using this creating a new users and such as the specific group ID, whenever you can create the specific group ID, that times you can share the many images, many reading, writings or executing permission for a given resources that can be shared among the users, and you can share the multiple tasks on the within the groups. And that's why the -G is the options allows you to create a user with a specific initial login group. And now next is tools is the security policy. This is the features of the large corporates and is in the ultimate versions of the Windows operating system. Now I am telling about the Windows operating systems here, and these operating system tools is the security policy is the same on the tools of the Windows as well as the Linux operating system, and these features will not be seen in the home computers. One can find the local security under the administrative tools, which one may get access from the control panel. These options allow the administrator to provide the access or deny access to the some user to some drive or software on this drive. So thus the changes in those software or drives will not be possible for them whom the access to change or configure. It is given by the administrator, and by this end user policy one administrator can allow or disallow any users on those computers to get an access over few website or not. And the same things is happen on the Linux operating system. In these Linux operating systems is allow the administrator to provide the access or deny access to some user to some drive or the software on those drives, and thus the changes in the software or drives will not be possible for them whom the access to change or configure. It is given by the administrator, and by this the user can also be restricted to surf freely at their workplace, as most of the irrelevant website, basically the irrelevant websites to the job, will not be opened from there. So some security policies are included in the Linux operating system. The using the Linux operating systems is the sum as the keep the system updated. First is the keep the system updated. Second is the use secure SSH. Third is the deactivate networking ports. Fourth is the lock and unlock features. Turn off IPv6. Already you have known about the IPv6. It is the use for in the networking system, and enables IP stables. Then it is called as the firewall. Use strong password policy. Track disk partitions for better web host security, as well as the use SFTP or not the FTP, the SFTP. And then the third is the install anti-malware antivirus software, and these are the basic practices of the security policies. Now we will learn about in detail the how to use the then the first is the keeps systems updated. Then always keep system updated with the latest releases, patches, security fixes and the kernel when it's available. Then these are the commands are used for the keep the system updated. Whenever you have to update your system, that times you can use this command, and using these commands you can update your system. Then the $m updates, and these are the updates commands is whenever you have to enter the update command, that times you can update your system. And then second is the use secure SSH. Then next is the deactivate networking ports. And whenever you have to deactivate the network from your system, then you can use the netstat commands line. The netstat is a command line tool for the monitoring incoming and outgoing network packets, the statistic as well as the interface statistics. It is a very useful tool for every system administrator to monitor network performance and troubleshoot network related problems. With the help of nested networking commands, you can view all open ports and associated the programs. Use the check chk config commands to disable all unwanted network services from this system. Then, how to use this command? Then the $netstat dash a, and dash a is the options of the netstat. Then next is the lock and unlock features. They are very useful instead of removing an account from the system. Okay, if you have to remove an account, you can delete options is used, but you have to not remove on your from your system. That you can use the lock and unlock features. You can lock it for a week or a month to lock a specific users, and you can use the following commands whenever you have to lock or unlock features used for your system. That times the password, the password is the given the commands from your systems, and this dash l is the options of your options of these password commands, and dash l, and then account name. Account name is given for you the password dash l and the account name. These are the syntax for the lock and unlock features, and whenever you have to add this system, and whenever you have to add the commands and execute, then you can easily lock and unlock you unlock of your systems in this operating system. Okay, then next is the turn of IPv6. IPv6 is the Internet Protocol version 6. I think you have learned about. The next tool is the device management. The device management is the process of managing the implementation, operations, and maintenance of a physical or virtual device. All Linux device files are located in the /dev directory. Student, dev is the command is used for using the directory. Then the which and the integral part of the root the file system, because these device files must be available to the operating system during the boot processing. Then the device nodes in the /dev directory provide the access to the operating system corresponding the kernel devices. And with UDV is used. Then what is UDV? Then UDV is the device manager for the Linux 2.6 kernel that creates all the removed device nodes in the /dev directory dynamically. It is the successor of the dbfs and the hot plug. It runs in the user space, and the user can change the device name using the UDV rules. UDV is the device manager for the Linux 2.6 kernels, and you can create and remove the device nodes from the directory. Okay, then UDV depends on the sysfs file. This files is the system files which was the introduced in the 2.5 kernels. It is the sysfs which makes the device visible in your user space, and when a device is added or the removed, then the kernel events are produced which will notify the UDV is in a user space. Next is the performance monitor. The last tools of the operating system is the performance monitor. It is the really very tough job for the every system or the network administrator to monitor and debug the Linux system perform problems every day. There are some commands line monitoring tools that might be useful for every Linux or Unix operating systems administrator. These commands are available under all flavors of Linux and can be useful to monitor and find the actual causes of performance problems. The first commands is used for the top commands. Second is the VM stat. Then the top commands is it is the performance monitor programs which is used frequently by many system administrators to monitor the Linux performance, and it is available under the many OS. This command is used to display all running and active real-time processes in order list and updates it regularly. Student, listen carefully. This command is used for running and active the real-time processes in your ordered list and updated it regularly. How many processes are running in your system? Then this command is showing the how many processes are running in your systems and actual the active real-time processes, how many active real-time processes are in the order list, and as well as it is the update is in every process update. Thank you.